Hello!
Hi everyone.
Howdy everyone. Today I will teach you how to play Rubik's Roll. This product does not have one game. It's got 5. As shown on the box, it's a 5-in-1, and I will cover all 5 games in this video. This is what you get. You get the base as well as the lid. There are 27 cubies with all 6 colors from the Rubik's Cube on each cubie. There's also 2 trays, one right there, and another one right here, and you also get the instructions. Okay, let's start with the first game. The first game is Battle Cubies. Destroy your opponent's cubies first before your opponent does the same to you. Each player takes 1 tray as a grid and 3 cubies of 1 color. You're then going to find something to place in between both grids so that your grid is not shown to your opponent and vice versa. Now, I don't think the game's box is adequate enough. It's just too small. So look for something that's a little bit taller and maybe a little bit wider. After that though, place your cubies in any 3 spots on the grid. Just don't let your opponent see where you're placing them. Now, according to the manual, this is what the grid's diaphragm looks like. And if you notice, the A1 spot is on the bottom left corner, unlike Battleship, which has the A1 spot on the top left corner. So if this diaphragm is too uncomfortable for you because the numerical order is reversed, then you can play it Battleship style if you want to and have the numerical order of 1, 2, and 3 go from top to bottom. But for this video, we're going to use this diaphragm. So the youngest player goes first. On your turn, you're going to call a shot on the grid according to the diaphragm. So your shots can be something like A2 or B3. Whether your shot hit or missed, your turn is over, and then your opponent does the same thing, and that's pretty much all you do on your turns. You just do that back and forth. So when you call a shot, if a player's shot does not have a cubie on that spot on the opponent's grid, the opponent will say miss, and nothing happens. The turn is over. But if a player's shot does have a cubie on that spot on the opponent's grid, the opponent will say hit and remove that cubie from that spot. That cubie is destroyed and the turn is over. So as an example, I'm going to take my turn and say I'm going to go with A3. My opponent says miss, so I did not hit a cubie and destroy one. My turn is over. It is now my opponent's turn, and they say C1. So if you look at the diaphragm again, C1 is on the bottom right corner. And if you look here, there's a cubie on the bottom right corner. So I have to say hit and remove that cubie from my grid. It's now destroyed and my opponent's turn is over. The first player to destroy all 3 cubies before their opponent does the same wins the game. And that is how you play Battle Cubies. The next game is Pattern Shake. Match the pattern before your opponent. Each player takes 9 cubies and 1 tray. Place the other 9 cubies in the shaker and close it up. One player shakes the shaker. I'm going to do this right now. And that right there will be the pattern for this game. Both players will take their own 9 cubies, do a countdown, and roll all their cubies at the same time. And now the race begins. So your goal is to match this pattern by placing your cubies in the grid and match it this way. So I'm going to do this just for fun in this video, but as I do this in a real game, the opponent is doing the exact same thing. So like I said earlier, it is a race. So I'm getting a lot of them matched here. And I can't go anymore. So since these don't match with the pattern shown here and I can't put them there, just keep rolling until you can get a match. There's another one there, and just keep on rolling. And there you go. I did that in 3 rolls. And as you can see, there's a match. The first player to match the pattern as shown before the opponent wins the game. And that is how you play Pattern Shake. Then there's Verticubies. Both you and your opponent will take turns building a tower. There are 2 ways to win. 1, you win if the tower falls on your opponent's turn. And 2, you win if you placed your last Cubie on the tower without having it fall over. So place a grid in the middle of the table to start off. Then both you and your opponent take 9 Cubies and roll them. The player that rolled the most of one color starts the game. So for an example, let's just say that both of these piles of Cubies have been rolled in advance. This is player 1 and this is player 2. Player 1 goes first because there are 3 blues and player 2 does not have more than 3 of one color. So on your turn, roll all 9 Cubies. Then you can pick any one Cubie from your pile and place it in the center of the grid. The color shown is known as the facing color. So in this case, the facing color is yellow. Then your turn is over. From here on out going forward on each turn, you will then do this. Roll all 9 Cubies. And if you roll the facing color, pick that die or Cubie and then place it on the top with any color of your choice. That new color becomes the new facing color. If you did not roll the facing color on your roll, then you can't place a Cubie on that turn. And that's pretty much it. So you just keep going back and forth, taking rolls, building the tower as such, until either a player places their last Cubie on the top of the tower without having it fall over, or if the tower falls over on their opponent's turn, then the game is over. At this point, I'm pretty curious. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Let's see if these Cubies reach my camera. Ooh, not good. I'm gonna keep going until it either falls or I reach my camera. Whoa. Whoa. My table is not really balanced, by the way. I think that's it too. I'm just gonna let it fall. There you go. So anyways, that's how you play Verticubies. Next up is 3 in a row. You win by getting 3 in a row with your color. First of all, place a grid in the middle of the area, and each player takes 6 Cubies. Choose a color, but remember, your color has to be different from your opponent's. So let's say player 1 on the left chose red, and player 2 on the right chose orange. The youngest player goes first, and let's say player 1 is the youngest. On your turn, roll your Cubies. On your turn, place any Cubies rolled in your chosen color onto the grid. And what I mean by any, it can be more than 1 if you're lucky enough to roll more than 1. So for this roll, there's 1 red, so let's just place it on the grid. Then, the turn is over, it's now player 2's turn. If you roll none of your chosen color for that turn, then you can't do anything on that turn. Your turn is automatically over. Just keep taking turns, rolling dice, and placing Cubies onto the grid of your color until a player gets 3 in a row, whether vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, and that player would win the game. Let's keep going and see how the grid will fill up. So I got Christmas colors for player 1. Let's place this one right here. It's now player 2's turn. Just 1 orange. I'm going to counter that. Back to player 1. So player 1 can't do anything. Back to player 2. Okay, there's an orange right there. I'll put that. Put it right up here. Player 1. Oh, there's a red right there. Counter that one. Back to player 2. And once you know it, there's 2 orange. put one right there, and another one right here. In this case, player 2 would win the game. So there you go. That's how you play 3 in a row. And finally, 21. I saved this game for last because all the other games are for 2 players only, while this game is for 2 to 3 players. This game is similar to blackjack. You win by getting 21 or close to it without going bust. In this video, I'll be doing a 2-player example, so let's just remove these 9 cubies off to the side. Each player takes 9 cubies, and the youngest player goes first. On each player's first turn, you will determine your count and your color. Let's do that right now. This is player 1. There. So, to determine your count and color, count your colors. The color that appears the most becomes your count and your color. If there is a tie, then you get to choose the color. In this case, for player 1, there are 3 reds, but there's also 3 whites, so there's a tie between those colors. So for this, I'm going to go with white. So player 1's color is going to be white, and their current score is 3. Now, I'm going to do the same for player 2. And player 2's color is going to be orange, and their current score is 4. Now, going forward on each turn, you'll roll all 9 cubies as usual, and you'll count the colors that you have of your specific color, and you add them to your score. You can stop rolling at any time and bank your score. Just remember that if you go over 21, you bust and you automatically lose. So let's see how far I can go with both of these players. So again, player 1 is white with 3, and player 2 has orange for a color with a score of 4. Back to player 1. So there are 2 whites, so that is a current score of 5. So I'll keep going with player 1, but for now it's back to player 2. Player 2 has 2 oranges, so it's now 6, so 5 and 6. There's 2 whites, so that makes it 7. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose track sometime in this clip, but I'll try my best. There are no oranges, so nothing for player 2, so it still stays at, I believe, 6, so it's 7 and 6. So there's another white right there, so that is 8 for player 1. Back to player 2. There's 2 oranges, so now it's 8 and 8. 9, 10, 11, so player 1 has 11. Back to player 2. Nothing for player 2, so it's still, I believe, 8. Another white right there, that makes it 12. So 12 and 8. Still no orange, so still 8 for player 2. Player 1 still has 12. Now it's 13 with another white, so it's 13 and 8. Still nothing for player 2, still at 8. Player 1. Oh, there's a lot of white here. 14, 15, 16, 17. So player 1 can stop at any time, and 17 is a pretty good number. We'll see what the choice will be after player 2. Yeah, there's some 2 oranges right there, so now player 2 has a score of 10. I'm going to say for player 1, let's keep going. Let's take the gamble. Nothing for player 1. Okay, so still 17. Player 2 has 10. There is 1 orange, so now it's 11. Back to player 1. Still nothing for player 1, still at 17. And this one is 11. Nothing for player 2, so right now it's 17 and 11. I'm pretty sure the numbers are right, but I'm pretty sure I screwed it up somewhere, but that's okay. Let's just keep going. There's 1 white for 18. Okay. Let's go back to player 2. Nothing for player 2, so it's 18 and 11. Let's keep going with player 1. Ooh. 19, 20. So for player 1, with a score of 20, player 1 is going to stop right there. So let's just set that to the side. So again, player 1's score is set at 20. That means player 2 has to either tie with it and get a draw with 20, or beat it with 21, otherwise they lose either way. And I think it was a score of, I'm pretty sure it was 11. It could have been either 11 or 12, I'm gonna go with 11. 12, let's keep going. 13, 14. Ooh, 15, 16, 17. Gotta be 20. 18. Gotta keep going. Nothing there. Still 18. 19. Oh no! 20. 21. 22. Player 2, boss. Player 2 automatically loses. So player 1 wins the game with 20 and player 2 busts. So that's pretty much how 21 works. So like I said, the player that gets to 21 or closer without going bust wins the game. And that's how you play 21. So there you go. Those are all 5 games from Rubik's Roll. As a review, I'm kind of mixed with this product. Verticubies is a complete waste, as Jenga does the tower toppling mechanic a whole lot better and a whole lot more suspenseful. The same goes for Battle Cubies. If you have a craven to destroy your opponent's pieces, then just play Battleship, it's a whole lot better. For 3 in a row, I think it's just a super luck-based version of Tic-Tac-Toe. Just imagine if a player rolled 3 of their chosen color on the very first roll, that's an automatic win, and that's no fun. Pattern Shake is easily the best game of the bunch, and I think it's really great. But 21? It's fine, I guess. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out my gaming channel, Markis P Gaming, for video game Let's Play content. I will see you later, but until then, like always, take care.